I'm glad everyone came today. Lance and Lana, I believe you've got something you wanted to share.
I needed to find something to fulfill my urges.
Hey! Get out of here, you nasty!
Lance, the humper, he traumatized me. I needed to heal. And then I found Laugh Lounge. We can laugh together now.
I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. I could have just been watching stand-up.
Laughing together is better. Laugh Lounge helps heal all of us. I'm so proud of all of you.
Welcome to the world's first live streaming stand-up comedy network. Subscribe now for a limited time for only $19.99 a year. Laugh Lounge. Let's laugh together.
I heard wet.
Salty wet.
Salty and wet. And we'll see this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't think I like the ocean very much.
The ocean just needs a little more time to get to know you.
I don't know, Sam. I don't think I should get any closer. My feet got wet and I feel weird about it.
That's just your toes greeting the water. As you go in, it's gonna work its way up your legs. It's gonna work itself around your hips and up to your belly button.
But that's like really intimate we just met. And it's already touching me so intimately.
The ocean's a communal intimacy.
Chad, inner song along.
When you ride a wave, when you're boogie boarding, there's no feelings for you that the ocean is hoarding. It feels the same for everyone. It's got love for us all. And I had my first kiss with the narwhal. I've had many affairs with marine creatures. I've studied all of their marine-like features and gotten to know my way around a starfish. This is the first date I've been on with a human. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I could get totally lost, I could take a fall, but I've got a walrus lined up for a menage a trois, and if she just gets waist deep, I can change her mind. Come on, just a few more steps. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Something went wrong. This is not normal.
Angie, what are you doing here?
I miss you.
Do you know each other?
Katie, inner song along.
I don't get along with humans that well, or animals, or anyone really, except my journal. I took a risk coming out to see this man at the sea, and now I don't know what to do, 'cause deep down inside I want to rip off all my clothes and dive right in. I want to jump on the back of that dolphin. I want to be free from my anxiety, free.
Doesn't he know I'm a princess trapped in the body of a narwhal? Why can't he tell that all I wanted to be was in love and fall? In love with a man with legs, in love with a man who would take me places. Why did I give my soul to an octopus woman who made me trade places? With the narwhal. Maybe I should have thought about that. I could have been fine as an independent woman. Well, hindsight. Now I'm a narwhal.
Sam, I can tell there's a connection between you and this aquatic life form.
There used to be. We went out for a while. But it wasn't right. I mean, she's nothing, but you're like a princess.
What? Really? You can see that?
Yeah. I mean, if someone's really got a princess inside them, of course I'm gonna see that. Not some freak like this.
That's it! I didn't do it! Please! I have a family!
That's for the gods to decide.
The gods?
The gods, the almighty gods above. I'm a believer in Christ.
This scene needs more dragons.
Look, if you let me out of here, I'll do anything. I'll give you my horses. I'll let you eat bread. My bread that I make, it's world famous bread.
Hardly an offer worth taking. Listen, do you hear that? That's my dragon, Greg.
Greg, no, please.
Yes. I think he would like to eat your horses.
No.
Maybe he'd like to eat you.
No. Let me talk to Greg.
This scene needs more. It needs more love.
No one's ever talked to me.
I tried talking to you. How long have you been down here?
I've lived down here for 500 years.
500 years, wow. That's a long time.
Well, Greg's taking a liking to you, it seems.
In addition to being a horse whisperer, I'm also a dragon whisperer.
Oh my God. Stop it! This dragon is vicious and evil. He can't be loved or show love.
I don't know about that. Does Greggy Poo want a pebble to play with? Yeah?
Oh, Greg, no. Greg, no.
This scene needs more whistling.
Come back, boy. Come back.
Oh, he never comes when I whistle. Jesus, are you out there?
When was the last time you
Yeah, I'm right here. What you need?
Jesus, I need purpose. I need to know how to be scary again.
This scene needs more James Bond-esque movements.
Jesus is here to help.
Good, Jesus. Do you think you could come down here and help?
Jesus is here.
Jesus, can you get me out of this dungeon? I don't know why I'm here. I've been falsely accused.
She has not been falsely accused. She is down here because she broke the #1 rule of all the land.
Jesus is here to tell you that if you follow the teaching of Jesus, you would know that Jesus said, "Let he who has no sin cast the first stone." You are free to go, my lady.
What?
Can I take Greg with me?
You can take Greg, and Jesus is out too. Jesus has got to
Wait,
go.
Jesus. I have one last question, Jesus.
That was it.
I'm glad everyone came today. Andrew, would you like to start?
I guess you could say I have an anger problem.
Everybody, we have some really exciting...
Hey, Brandon, you know what I think of your presentation? Oh my God. Whoa.
Thank you for sharing, Andrew. How are you doing now?
I feel great. I can watch stand-up comedy anywhere. And I'm better in meetings.
Thank you, Andrew. You have come a long way with Laugh Lounge.
Welcome to the world's first live streaming stand-up comedy network. Subscribe now for a limited time for only $19.99 a year. Laugh Lounge. Let's laugh together.
Live from Curious Comedy Theater in Portland, Oregon, where a new ramen shop opens every 3 minutes. It's Late Night Special! Tonight's special guest, historical martial artist Ken Tucker, comedian Alex Rios, musical guest The Chair Project, house band The Species, and your hosts Stacey, Hallall, and Jay Flewelling.
Hi! I can tell you're excited.
I'm very excited.
Are you guys excited?
Very excited.
Yeah, great
Very
crowd.
excited.
Excellent. Thanks for being here tonight, supporting live comedy here in Portland. By round of applause, who was here earlier for the early show? Great. By round of applause, who just got here for this show right now? All right.
You heard about the sword play, didn't you?
That's right. The way you just said sword play sounded real dirty, though.
Sword play.
We're so excited. We got some great guests.
Yeah, we
today.
have knights.
We have knights from the past. KNIGHTS. Thank you. Give it up for the Species, Johan and Walker.
In the house. We have so much going on in this show, but
Yes.
there's so much going on in the world.
There is, and we should get to it. So first of all, in this week's impeachment news, Senate Republicans blocked 11 separate Democratic amendments to subpoena evidence, mainly because they know Trump's guilty. It's the worst Republican cover-up since Trump last applied his foundation.
Yeah.
You gotta blend it. You gotta blend.
Well, also during the impeachment trial, the prosecution referenced a news report where the president threatened to have any GOP senator's head on a pike if they crossed him. Now, GOP senators were reportedly outraged, stating, Trump already has our balls in a jar. What more does he want?
Never enough. And then they also said the horror. The horror. None of you have seen Apocalypse Now?
Or Red Heart of Darkness? Anybody?
A minor scuffle in Canadian politics after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau bought donuts from a local Winnipeg bakery instead of from the cheaper donut chain Tim Hortons. This is actually the entire scandal. That's it. I mean, on one hand, we wish that this was all the scandals we had to deal with. On the other hand, wait till you see the pictures from when Trudeau was a chocolate glazed donut for Halloween.
Moving on. Okay, well, in honor of MLK Day, presidential consultant Kellyanne Conway said that Dr. King would oppose Trump's impeachment. Yes, all outlined in his famous speech, I Have a Dream. I have a dream that when Mexicans send their people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're sending people that... Wait a minute. This is the wrong speech. This is the wrong speech.
Wrong speech. Totally
Yeah,
wrong
sorry
speech.
about that.
A new and deadly virus called the coronavirus is spreading rapidly across mainland China.
Ooh, this will go really good with my Lyme's disease.
Jay, this isn't funny. The coronavirus a virus is a very serious thing.
Yeah, seriously chilling on the beach.
Okay, all right. I'm really sorry, everybody. Very sorry. As part of their Super Bowl campaign, Planters made an ad where they have killed off Mr. Peanuts. Yeah, this is the darkest ad since Joan of Arc was burned at the stake for Ohio blue tip matches.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that ad? You remember that, Bill? You're from Ohio.
Yeah, it was big news. Big news back in the 14th century. Yeah.
Well, a new study reports that mayfly populations in Mississippi have dropped by half since 2012. Now, in what the June flies are calling God's punishment for their sins.
That's right. June flies very conservative. They're very conservative. Kit Kat is finally releasing weird flavors into the U.S. market. Yeah! For those of you who've traveled abroad, you're probably familiar with some of them. Right now, they're testing out orange creamsicle, cotton candy flavors, and not to be outdone, Japan has upped the ante with Kit Kats featuring the flavors of schoolgirl vomit, used panties, and grape.
Oh, great!
Gross! Grape!
Yeah. Well, the internet fell in love with a husky that had been rejected by its breeder this week due to having weird eyes. Right here, yeah. I know. Yeah, some vets claim that her eyes are a congenital condition, but really, she's just seen what Bill O'Reilly has done behind closed doors.
Yeah, just like his own dog. It's its own epidemic.
She cannot unsee it.
A man in New Hampshire choked a coyote to death after the coyote attacked his 2-year-old child. Or, as reported in the Howling Coyote Gazette, innocent mother murdered just trying to feed her cubs.
Yeah.
It's just how you spin it, you guys.
We're on the coyote side, okay?
I just heard really like, wow. You sound like a coyote a little bit.
Well, okay, so sources say that Apple will be producing a new low-cost iPhone as soon as this March, which will replace their current low-cost option, the Samsung Galaxy.
There it is, it's Late Night Special!
Back again.
We did it. We made it through.
We did it.
You guys loved every second of those jokes.
Every joke you loved.
Even the ones you said correctly.
Ouch.
Wow.
I'm a writer, I can see that.
Ow.
I feel like there's a little fighting spirit in the air because of what we got coming up today.
Yeah, so much fighting, so much metal.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But first, what's new with you, Jay?
I just, my work's been taken off. We were launching this startup, this health thing. We had a big run through. It went well, and yeah.
A health thing?
It's a health thing. It's a health startup company. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
NDA.
Is it kind of like Goop?
No.
It's called Poog. It's completely different.
No, I kind of been busy with that, just living life, farting around, nothing big.
That's good.
Yeah. You've been traveling.
I went to Miami, Florida, which was amazing. It was beautiful. The sun was out. I missed the worst week in Portland weather so far this winter.
Did you swim in the ocean?
I walked around in the ocean, lounged by a pool. It was pretty great. But there have been cold temperatures in Florida, and I don't know if y'all heard this, but they did issue in Florida a warning. Anthony, do you have that warning? Of falling iguanas. This is not a joke. This is real. Iguanas get cold and they fall out of trees. And they had to issue a warning because apparently a Florida man who is originally from South America, where iguanas are a delicacy, collected a bunch of the frozen iguanas to take home, put them in his car, and then they warmed up as he was driving home and attacked the shit out of him.
Oh, wow.
So
what, did he fatal or just?
Just, there was a car accident, but I don't think there were any fatalities.
I like how it's in a car, he can't get out.
I was like, what do iguanas do? Apparently they can bite and they can whip you with their tails.
Yeah.
So
iguanas are nasty.
Yeah, you learn something every time you come to Late Night Special.
This is true. And I love I'll get these.
Yeah. But also, you heard about there's a new show, medical cops.
I believe it is called Medical Police.
Medical Police.
It's the Children's Hospital sequel.
So it's a mashup between medical dramas and cop dramas. But here at Curious, we've been way ahead of the curve.
We're always ahead.
And this is a sketch we actually made, I don't even know how, like 2012?
That's 2012, 2013, that's about right.
2013, and we want to share it all with you right now. Cop Doctor.
Where do you find the time to be a cop and a doctor? I don't. The viruses are just enforcing citizens' lives. If we don't act fast, there will be more.
My plan is working perfectly with the cop doctor.
Why would you do this, stepbrother, lawyer, chemical terrorist?
Because if I can't have mother, father's love, no one can.
It doesn't matter what your degree says or what badge you wear. It's what's in your heart that matters.
But Chief, my son has that same virus. And if I couldn't save them, you're already a cop and a doctor. Don't try to play God too.
I don't want a cop doctor. I want my husband.
I need 50 cc's of tricycline stacked.
Cop doctor, the tricycline is gone.
Tricycling went missing on your watch, Cop Doctor. It was the city's only hope.
What do I look like? A rocket scientist? Well, I'm not. I'm only a cop and a doctor.
Not anymore, you're not. Hand over your gun, your badge, and your stethoscope.
I would never give a pig quack like you any respect.
You son of a bitch. You're a son of a bitch.
From now on,
you shall be known as Deputy Nurse. Do you know what it's like to take a man's life and then bring that same man back to life? I should have been there for you, son. I didn't see the virus coming.
The doctor and you can't save him now. But the cop inside of you still can.
it must be hard if he's a cop and a doctor. When is he with you?
Take 2 of these. Long and important.
Evidence that the networks are stealing our ideas.
Yes.
So.
From 10 years ago.
Oh, there it is, Medical Police. They're cops and doctors at the same time. So Netflix, it's Netflix.
Yeah, we'll send you the invoice.
Yes. Are you ready for some stand-up comedy? This comic has been performing all around Portland.
He's lovely.
He's lovely, one of the best. Please welcome Alex Rios.
Hey. Perfect. I know I have resting warp tour face. Thank you. Recently just bought a new truck. Just bought my dream truck. Dream truck. 2003. Nissan Xterra. Dream truck. Bright orange. Silver flames. Yeah, I'm better than all of you. My truck's so bro-y, in the engine there's no belts, it's just puka shell necklaces going round and round. It's so bro-y, every time I try to listen to music, it just turns that music off and then just turns on Kid Rock. Kind of looks like I voted for the wall. Or I'm gonna drive through the fucking wall. Have you guys ever wanted to be inside of Guy Fieri? Come take a ride. 32 years old. Woo! Yeah. It's not good. I think I'm getting fatter because I'm 32. Like, I'm not so much getting fatter as I am like gaining tits. Like all over my body. Like if I were to take off my shirt right now, I look like two fat pregnant cats back to back. If I were to take off my shirt right now, according to the internet, I'd be brave.
Do it.
It's a different show. All right, haircut, you gotta have money, all right? I just named you Haircut. It's on the fly, wow. Ugh, that's the way I look. Sorry, it's just gross to me. Don't owe me. Thank you. I don't believe in God. I don't know if you could tell by this, but I'm not a religious person. But I do, however, believe in God for like 5 seconds at a time throughout any day. Just 5 seconds at a time. Like, have you guys ever had like a big fat man meal? Just a big, gross, greasy meal, you know? Just big, gross, greasy meal with your big, gross, greasy tits hanging out. Just big, gross, greasy meal, greasy tits. And you get done having that big, greasy tit meal and you see like a cookie. Like on a counter, it's like a half a cookie. It's not your cookie, but it's gonna be your cookie. And you try to take that cookie and throw it in your mouth, but you miss and it hits you in the cheek and falls on the ground. And you're like, maybe there is a God. He's trying to save me from myself. Then I count to 5, pick that cookie back up, put it in my mouth. I'm like, there's no God. Thank you. Been doing a lot of drugs recently. A lot of drugs, yeah, a lot of drugs. A lot of hardcore drugs. Hardcore drugs. You see this shirt? Hardcore. Hardcore drugs. Like, been doing CBD. Been doing that hardcore drug, that one hardcore drug that's one level above incense. I went in an all CBD shop recently. That's all they sold. That's boring as hell. That's like going to a bar that only sells O'Douls. And, what's up, bartender? 17 O'Douls. Yeah, driving tonight. See these? These are keys. My last name's Rios. I'm part Mexican. I won't tell you how Mexican I am, but I will tell you that I did just have to tell you. So that's how Mexican I am. I don't look that Mexican. I just look like a Greek that got beat up by a Hot Topic. 3 claps. Haircut. It's good. I work in a kitchen because my last name's Rios, and that's just where they throw you. In the kitchen I work in it's a very bro-y kitchen. A lot of bros, you know, the bros with the puka shells. The Affliction shirts that are 1, 2 mediums, 2 mediums. Work with all of them. It's like working in a Bud Light Lime commercial. And when you work with that many Chads, Brads, Kyles, Kevs, Kevins, and Nickelbacks, there's always one question that those dudes want to ask you, and that question is, how much money would it take for you to suck a dick, bro? People are throwing outrageous amounts of money out. Like $50,000, $100,000, $1 million. $1 million? One dick? $1 million? I'd do it if you said please. So my mama taught me manners. I'll do this and I'll get out of here. Anytime I go into a public restroom, there's a baby changing table. The table's down. I like to get naked, climb on top of the table, then I wait for a guy to walk in. And I just scream, "Change me, Daddy!" Thanks, Dad. All right, have a good night, guys.
Adorable. It's a shock and a surprise to him more than anybody.
I know, he's so nice.
He truly is.
Yeah.
Well, our next guest I am very, very excited about. We're going to have some music, and it's featuring Jeffrey Chairman Couch, who's from the band Nasal Rod. If you guys know Nasal Rod, a Portland famous band. And well, beyond Portland, let me. And he has an album called Random Conversation that's available on Spotify. Please give it up for the Chair Project.
Every single day. fades guitars, a lack of exercise. I can barely hear a television. Almost silent cars and faint guitars, a lack of exercise. I can barely hear a television.
And we'll have some more from the Chair Project, especially for you guys. So,
I like the bass as like, this is the bass.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. And members of Nasal Rod are in the band Fear that was on SNL, and they like destroyed, punk rock band that destroyed the set. It was John Belushi. When Saturday Night Live started, they would let the performers pick bands and recommend bands, and then that was the last band they let do that. There's like a mosh pit. It was, watch it. You can see on YouTube. It's awesome. Cool. Well, pretty soon, not right now, but very shortly, we're gonna have 2 knights in shining armor out here. But first, we need to take one moment because it's January and we're in award season. And to honor award season, we have a little presentation by our very own writer. Please give it up for Carl Berger, everybody!
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Jay. Glad to see you got my Evite. A very liberal take on formal wear, though. So, but I appreciate you being here tonight. Folks, as you know, we are in the heart of awards season right now. I mean, honestly, I didn't know half of the ceremonies that were taking place this year. Of course, you've got your Oscars, you've got your Emmys, you've got your Golden Globes, your Grammys, your Tonys, your BAFTA, your NAFTA, your SAG, your Critics' Choice, your Kids' Choice, and of course the coveted J.D. Power and Associates Awards. I mean, there are so many award shows that I doubt you even realize that NAFTA is actually the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement and not the Nerd Actors Fantasy Thriller Awards, although I would like to see that show. So with the onset of so many new streaming platforms and so many awards ceremonies, I thought I would get you all together here tonight and have my own little impromptu awards ceremony, highlighting some of the people, places, and things in my life. So thank you for being here. You can applaud. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So welcome to Carl's iconically super significant award show spectacular. The first award I'd love to give out tonight is for the most uncomfortable lift conversation. And without any further ado, I would love to present this award to my Lyft driver, Brian. Give it up for Brian, everybody. Brian, you told me that I could do anything in the backseat of your Kia Soul as long as I kept my seatbelt on and then maintained deep and unbroken eye contact for 3 blocks. I said nothing and gave you 5 stars because you know where I live. Of course, now I have a restraining order out on Brian, so he could not be here tonight to accept his award. So on his behalf, I would like to present you with Brian's award. Here, give it up for this gentleman right here. Haircut. Creepiest lift conversation, right there. The next award we have is for the stinkiest sleep farts. This is near and dear to my heart because I also suffer from this ailment. And the award tonight goes to, for stinkiest sleep farts, My girlfriend. Give it up for my girlfriend, everybody.
Who is she sleeping with there, Carl?
That's me.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, it is. Of course, my girlfriend, she could not be here tonight either because she goes to a different school. So I would love to present the award to this gentleman right here. Give it up for the stinkiest sleep farts right here. The next award, this is the Most Comfortable Seat Award. You see, folks, when I'm not hosting impromptu award ceremonies, I'm usually sitting on my ass somewhere. And so I thought I would give an award to the platform that I felt is the most comfortable. And the award goes to my IKEA pillow armchair. There we go, everybody. What an upset. My ottoman is gonna be fucking pissed. Now, of course, I couldn't bring my IKEA pillow armchair to the awards ceremony tonight because that would be fucking insane, right? So I'm going to have to give the award to this young lady down front. Give it up, most comfortable seat. Hold that award up proudly for everyone to see. There we go.
Oh, for show.
Oh, for show. Both you and my chair. The next award goes out to this is the Coldest Hands Award. The Coldest Hands Award. Now, before I open this, I will say this was a highly contested and close race. But there can only be one winner. And tonight's winner is my friend and proctologist, Dr. Gary Wooldridge. Dr. Gary Wooldridge, watch out what you do with those glasses, Gary. And maybe buy a space heater for the office before I come in next time. Of course, Gary didn't know I would be talking about him on stage tonight, so he is not here to accept the award, but I will give the Coldest Hands Award to this gentleman down front here. Give it up for him. Would like to make an honorable mention to my mother who always complains, no matter how hot it is, how cold her hands are. The penultimate award. This is a big one, everybody. This award is for the best Portland-based late-night variety talk show. And before I open the envelope, I just want to take a moment and say, no matter what happens tonight, all of the nominees are winners in my mind. But without further ado, the award for best Portland-based late-night variety talk show. It's Late Night Special, everybody. Hold on, no. No, I had the card upside down, I'm sorry. It's Moonlight, everybody. Moonlight has won the award. That's, I feel like this has happened before, that's really weird. Is anybody from the production of Moonlight, is anybody from the film Moonlight in the audience tonight? Okay, this is really awkward. I guess we'll have to give the award to somebody else. So how about you right there? Would you like the Moonlight Award? Give it up for best late night variety talk show in Portland metro area. Really sorry. I don't know how that happened. They deserve it though.
Yeah, Moonlight was really good.
The last award of the evening is the best joke based on a 2016 awards show, Mix 'em Up. And the award goes to, folks, Carl Berger. What, me? Are you kidding? I won? I didn't even know I was gonna win the award. That's insane. Well, geez, this is awkward. First, obviously, I'd like to thank my girlfriend who couldn't be here because she goes to a different school. Sorry about that fart joke earlier, cheap shots. I also want to thank my agents at William Morris, Jen, Larry, Craig, Stu, Belinda, Margaret, Nancy, Stephen with a PH. You guys believed in me when no one else would. I don't have a lot of time, so I really want to make this brief. I was born September 29th, 1990. Thank you guys very much. Thank you very much.
But I really still think we got robbed.
I know, yeah.
Just on the nature of the category.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you all are ready to travel through time. Are you ready to travel through time?
Yeah!
I know I am. Please welcome our guests, Ken Tucker and Mike Cherba from Northwest Armitsari. Keep it going, 'cause it's gonna take them a little. It's very cumbersome. It's very narrow. Here they come.
Oh my God!
I was kidding about that sword play, didn't you? Should we bow? Should we bow?
Here they are. If you're wondering why we were covering the couch earlier, it's because there's oil to keep the suits of armor slick. You need like an oil can. How are you guys? Welcome.
Doing good. I can't really look.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Here. Oh, I can turn the whole thing over. I'm gonna come up where you can see me, but you can just talk to them also. Welcome. Thank you so much. And this is for real. Can you tell us about the Northwest Armitsari?
Sure. Ken, you want to take this one?
So,
Heads are gonna roll.
So Mike is actually the instructor. I started about 5 years ago with Mike, and we do Italian longsword through the tradition of Fiore della Ibri. I never pronounce his name right.
The flower of the free.
Yes.
Amazing.
And it was written in, well, it was published in 1409, and it basically teaches you everything you need to know to just go right out into battle and fight like a knight.
So how heavy are these suits on you right now?
Mine is about, I'd say probably about 60, 70 pounds.
Wow.
Mine's a little heavier. My mail is stainless steel, whereas his is mild. And I'm, on the other hand, I'm wearing half harness. I'm not wearing bottom half, just the top. In my full kit, it adds about 120 pounds to my weight.
Wow.
Which, well, I'm a slightly larger than the average person to begin with. A typical kit ranges anywhere from 70 pounds to 100 pounds, which seems like a lot until you realize a modern infantryman goes into battle carrying more than that on his back.
Oh, wow.
Once you have the armor on, it's very distributed, and you just tire faster. You don't really notice the weight.
Yeah.
So do you have to have this custom made for you, or do you try on, you go to a place and try them on?
The best stuff is custom made. A lot of my pieces are bought off the shelf, but you had yours custom measured.
So a lot of mine was made to my measurements, but that shows the risk of working with an armor who's a long way away, where there's things he got wrong. You can see how my back plate pops up. That's not just because I'm sitting. The measurements were a little bit off. You know, but for the most part, yeah, depends on how you're sized and shaped, whether you have to custom build. Ideally, you want it custom fit to your body for ease of movement.
I do have a custom piece. My helmet is custom made for me.
So how much, if I wanted to get myself a suit of armor, what should I expect to be paying for that?
A good bespoke, probably what, $2 grand at the...
Oh, well, so how do you define, so first question becomes, what period? What style? And then the other part of the question becomes, how functional? Does it need to be hardened? Is it just to look good? Right? We have anything from what we call walking around kit, which is just there to look period and look nice, to the stuff we fight in. And you can pay for a bespoke kit, size to you. Assume for anything reasonable, you'll start at $5 grand, and it'll go up from there. I know somebody who describes the kit he's getting right now as a car. I mean, not a Civic, but not a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely want one I can fight in.
Oh, yeah. What's the pledge? Yeah, what's the pledge? You can't fight in, right?
Yeah, why have it?
Swordplay.
Yeah. Do they make breastplates for women with breasts?
Absolutely.
They do?
They're not shaped the way you would think.
So I just have to like smush it on.
Not as much as you would think, but a little bit. You know, the funny thing is, good armor is shaped like you kind of have a gut, no matter whether you do or not.
Okay.
Partly it deflects, partly that allows room for your diaphragm to expand. It's kind of a hobby among our group, looking at like bad armor in TV shows, especially what we consider like video game armor. You know, the classic, male bikini. Cool, why bother? You're not protecting any of the critical regions.
Yeah.
Right. So is there someone in town who makes these? You have to order them from far away?
Well, that's the thing. Yours came from Ukraine.
So the bulk of my harness was made by a gentleman in Ukraine. My helm came from Russia. The gauntlets I didn't bring out came from a gentleman in Mississippi.
Wow.
These came from India. This came from California. These were made in India. This was made in the Northwest. The Smith no longer is making armor anymore. And
Rest in peace.
The arm and the shoulders came
And then bits of his he made himself as well.
The mail on my upper body I made myself.
And so you made a sword, right, Ken?
I did. It's actually back there in the soft kit, and we're going to cut with it in a little bit.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what era are yours? Are your suits from the same era?
Roughly.
Which is?
Early, mid 15th century.
Yep. My kit is actually based off of a kit that is extant. It's at the Cherbourg Armories, and it's the S19. So it's almost, but not quite a clone of that kit. My helm is different. The hands I use are different. Although I'm being lazy today. I didn't bring out the heavy hands. I wanted dexterity to do things.
My hands are based on an extant example that is in a museum in Germany. And then the helmet is actually based on an extant example from the Battle of Agincourt. If you know Henry V, the Battle of Agincourt is basically the bulk of that play.
He's in the process of rebuilding his kit to be fully English in
Do you
style.
keep these on like a figurine in your house or mannequin?
I have
so
a
it's
mannequin
standing
I
up?
keep in my garage. I used to be in my dining room, but I had to move him. Yeah.
So is this a school that people come, or is it just classes that you teach? How does it work?
Well, I mean, we're kind of a club format. Portland's got a really lively scene. There's something like 8 different historical fencing or historical martial arts clubs in the area, plus the SCA and all sorts of other groups. We're the only one that does much armored stuff, but longsword, like what we're holding here, is probably the most common weapon. We also see a fair amount of saber and rapier work in the area, and then.
And when you say saber, you mean like lightsabers?
No, not lightsabers. Light as in weight, but not as in Star Wars.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Think more Civil War rather than Star Wars.
And do you always, when you practice, are you always getting fully dressed up?
No, the harness, we usually do it once a month if we can. Most of what we do is called Blossfechten, or naked fighting, basically.
So you're naked, you're totally completely naked?
No, although there is a group in France that does that.
Yeah.
There's an event, there's a group in France that fights with Dusaks, which are sort of short, like leather sword trainers for cutting and slashing, and they strip down to their skivvies and goggles. So tennis shoes, briefs, and goggles, and fence.
Wow.
Hot.
Speaking of hot, how hot are you in those suits right now?
You know, it's not too bad. The green room had AC.
It is the coldest room in the theater, but out here you're starting to heat
out
up.
here we might start to cook a little bit. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of a Die Hard kind of feeling, you know. I know what a TV dinner feels like, I should say.
So we're gonna serve you up and
Yes.
and have you for dinner. I mean, can you imagine riding a horse in this?
Yeah.
Is it would
The
it be
more
easier
important
than
question.
walking it?
Well, it depends on how good you are at riding.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
He, on the other hand, is wearing like full horseman's kit with his feet and everything.
Wow.
Pointy feet.
Do you ride horses?
I don't. I want to, though. I'm currently in the middle of having myself. I'm trying to lose as much weight as I can so I can ride a horse and not kill the thing.
Wow, amazing. Well, we're gonna have a demonstration in a moment, and we'll. Do you have a question, Jay?
Well, Ken, I want to know about being on the History Channel show.
Oh, yeah. I was on a show called Knife or Death. It's on the History Channel. The full title is Forged in Fire, Knife or Death.
Any fans out there?
Yeah, you would have seen me on episode 5 of season 2.
Nice. Write that down.
Honestly, it was, I might be a little biased, but I think it was the best episode of the season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like an obstacle course with like blades, and so you're running.
Yeah,
through things
imagine
and
Ninja
chopping
Warrior, except instead of trying to do crazy acrobatics, we're just cutting stuff.
He says just cutting stuff. It's unusual. Most of the contestants don't make it through the first obstacle course.
All right. We'll have to. It's on. We said what? The History Channel.
It's on the History Channel.
Can you see it on Hulu or Netflix?
You can find it on YouTube, and you can also find it on historychannel.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're gonna clear this stage so that we can have a demonstration of your amazing skills. And while we're doing that, we'd love to welcome back our musical guests. Please give it up for the Chair Project.
Do you want me to grab it for you? Damn. On YouTube, it disappeared.
You mean a square? You and then myself? Yeah. Okay. That's a little heavier than the next.
These things have a liner around, so you're going to have to get it all out of the way.
Everybody's looking for another picture. Everybody's looking for a better. Ooh, 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 little ways you can tell us apart. Subtle differences. Mother wasn't loving enough. Oh, daddy loved a little too much. Now they're talking all about your family. I'm afraid that I know Jodie Foster and Alice doesn't live here anymore. So, is there a better way to live now that nothing's totally real? We are never coming down. Quiet now, stop telling us to heal. Is it a better way to live now that everything is only surreal? If we're ever coming down, who knows how we're going to feel. Have a real conversation today, or just go away. How's the weather? How do you do? You see, this is what they want from you. Now they're talking all about our sanity. They don't care if you don't see your kids. They'll send you right on back to the mental ward. No, fuck no. Is there a better way to live now that nothing's totally real? We are never coming down. Quiet now, stop telling us to heal. Is there a better way to live now that everything is only surreal? If we're never coming down, who knows how we're going to feel. to live now that nothing's totally real. We just can't. Subtle differences. Thank you.
That's Hair
Thank you
Project.
so much. Love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You can sneak by us when you're ready. All righty. Are you all, first of all, now that you're fully dressed, can I just notice this for 1 second? What's going on with these nipple plates?
So those are called vesigue. It's basically a little disc of armor to help protect underneath the arm.
I see.
Which is a prime target. We're just about to show you a great technique to get right in that little spot.
Okay, well, let's let you get to it. Yeah, you can sneak around. Yeah, move it back, Jay. Whoa!
This is happening. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. I'm the squire.
Yeah. So what we learned earlier is that the squire's job is to pick things up because it's really hard to bend over in your suit of armor. That's really what they were for. Definitely terrifying.
They're also just huge.
So the one thing you guys will notice is what we're not doing. Go ahead and hit me in the head, Ken. Man, you can hit me. I thought you were going to hit me.
Can I try that? Wow, all right. Should I hit you right in the head?
Sure. Hit me in the head, hit me in the chest. Oh, no, you can hit me.
Hit the body.
I can hit you right here?
Go for it.
I gotta get consent, everybody. I gotta get consent. Wow. And then the same with your arms?
Yep. So this is why we spend most of our time trying to stab each other.
Like try to stab each other through the chainmail?
Exactly. Like everybody sees these TV shows, right? Where people are just wailing on each other. The Battle of Nations stuff. It's really fun. It's awesome.
It's very fun.
But it's not the way most fighting actually happens. Because as we see, it doesn't really do much.
Right.
Right? We just wail on each other till somebody touches the ground or gets a concussion. That's no fun. So instead, what do I try and do? Can you leave it on for just a second? Okay. Dang it, I just wanted to make a point, right? So what am I going to try and do? I'm going to get in close, right? I'm going to put my sword up under here. I'm going to put it into his armpits, inside of here. His hands, even in his gauntleted hands, I can do things like hook my sword into the back of those gauntlets and control it, stab him in the palm, backs of the knees, and the ever-popular groin option. If you guys think this is a modern thing, we can show you pictures from a 15th century fight book where we get bound up at our swords, and he tells him, kick him in the crotch and cause him pain. Look what he's wearing on his feet. You want to get kicked with that? Nobody does. But so contrary to what everybody thinks, we're not cutting each other. The cut's set up, and we're just trying to get in, turn this into a short spear or a knife, and stab each other.
So of martial arts, because you also studied martial arts, which martial art is this? Is it more like Aikido than like karate, or is it, what would you say?
Wrestling?
The heart of all of what we do, Maestro Fiore tells us, is grappling. So everything we do ends up becoming grappling. You grab your sword?
Yeah.
So we'll get into these things that will end up looking like Aikido. We'll come in close. We get in, right, and we're here. Uh-oh. You lost your pommel. Right?
Hey, I could have ended it.
Right. So if we get in here, and we'll end up, and you'll see stuff that looks like this, where I'll come shoot into here, and I'll wedge. maintenance is a problem. Armor
like
maintenance
those-
is a problem.
Aren't those little bell hooks a little bit of a liability that someone could just get their sword in there and pull it out?
They can be.
Some of it is also peacocking, because you didn't want to die, of course, in battle.
Right.
So you wanted to look as fancy as possible, so they're more likely to take you prisoner.
Because it's very common to capture somebody, keep their stuff, and ransom them back to their family.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the wealthier you were, the more likely you'd get sold back to your family. So,
Wow.
like he says, peacocking. And the other thing is, once you put everybody in these suits, it's hard to tell people apart.
Right.
So you kind of bling them out, and you recognize each other by your bling.
Got
And
it.
if that comes off and I can escape, then he's
Right.
just got it, and then I'm free.
That's right.
So-
And then there isn't a lot of fencing, though. You guys are going right in.
Well, we're in armor.
Okay.
If we were fighting out of harness, you know, the fighting looks very, this is going to be, it's going to be fun because he's missing a pommel, right? So you'll see fencing that ends up looking more where I'm going to come in and we're going to play games. And we've got all sorts of things that we're shown. You know, if he makes a big overpowered cut at me, I'll come in and drive around. There's all sorts of stuff. I mean, we've got, Fiore alone left us 4 copies of his manuscript, all slightly different. If we then include the later period stuff from Italy, Vadi, Bolognese, we have literally thousands of pages just in historical Italian martial arts.
What made you decide that you wanted to spend a lot? Like, what was the moment where you're like, I need to do this for real?
Well, what little kid doesn't want to be a knight in armor, right? Oh, I spent a lot of my time actually in the Eastern martial arts. Yeah, all my accoutrements.
Yeah.
But,
Yep. Oh, there's a window there. Yeah.
I'm just going to set it. on-
Yes, do that.
But yeah, most of.
Look at that cabbage.
Been looking forward to these things.
We have,
So this is going to be with a sword you made yourself,
Yeah,
right?
this is one I made myself. My fencing sword, though the pommel did come off, it is a well-loved, well-used sword. The handle's actually tight enough that if pommels fall off, it'll be just fine. This is Thorn. This is actually the sword I use to own my death. It's 5160. It's a style known as an oak shot 16A. It was popular in the 15th century because you see that point? It can get into these rings, pop them. So as he's stabbing me in the mail, he would twist it, pop the ring, and then just have a big hole.
Yeah.
But this sword also is made to cut. It's a cut, thrust, compromise blade. And it is meant to be used one-handed. And it is meant for...
This is my dream. Hey, Gutenberg, yeah!
Thank you so much. That's our show tonight, everybody. Please give it up for Cat Mike, for Stacey, for Phil, our announcer, for Anthony, the booth, live streaming, for the chair project, Alex Rios,
Jay. Lance and Lana, I believe you've got something you wanted to share.
I needed to find something to fulfill my urges.